A silent war may already be starting inside Formula One, and this time it is not happening on the track. As McLaren gets closer and closer to Mercedes in 2026, a controversial suggestion from STEINER has suddenly exposed a brutal question that could change the future of the championship. Should Toto Wolff stop giving engines to his biggest rival? Mercedes has dominated the start of the season, winning every Grand Prix so far. But behind those victories, the pressure is growing fast. McLaren, the reigning world champion team and still powered by Mercedes engines, is getting dangerously close. The gap is shrinking. And now STEINER believes Wolff has an easy solution to stop the threat before it becomes uncontrollable. Speaking on the Red Flags podcast, the former Haas team boss did not hesitate. "If I were Toto, I would do it," he said. "It's an easy solution to avoid being beaten. Fine, I simply would not supply you with an engine anymore." That statement immediately sent shockwaves through the paddock because it touches one of the most uncomfortable truths in modern Formula One. Manufacturers are sometimes helping create the teams that could eventually destroy them. For years, Mercedes power helped McLaren return to the top. Together, they won the last 2 world championships. But now the situation is changing rapidly. McLaren is no longer just a customer team trying to survive. They are becoming a direct threat to Mercedes itself. And this is where the situation becomes serious. Because once a customer starts fighting for titles against the factory team, every technical partnership becomes politically dangerous. STEINER went even further by pointing directly at the regulations. He explained that Formula One rules only force manufacturers to supply engines to a limited number of teams. You need to supply engines by regulation, but only to a maximum of 2 other teams, he said. You are not required to do more than that. Alpine and Williams, done. This changes everything. Suddenly, the idea of Mercedes cutting ties with McLaren no longer sounds impossible from a legal perspective. But the story becomes even more complicated because STEINER also admitted something important about Toto Wolff himself. Despite the competitive risk, he believes the Mercedes boss probably would not take such a ruthless decision. Again, Toto is a sportsman. STEINER explained. He gives his best to his biggest rival. That sentence says a lot about how Formula One still balances business, competition and reputation behind closed doors. The problem for Mercedes is that the current situation could become harder to control if McLaren keeps improving. The team from Woking already showed major progress during the opening races, and with the same power unit package underneath the car, the fear inside Mercedes may not simply be about losing races. It may become about creating the perfect weapon for another team to dominate them with. And it may not stop here, because if McLaren eventually overtakes Mercedes completely, people inside the paddock will inevitably ask whether Wolff made a strategic mistake by continuing to support the direct championship rival. Formula One history is full of alliances that collapsed the moment success turned into danger. The question now is whether Mercedes and McLaren are slowly approaching that same breaking point. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.